The last time there was a Nintendo Direct, I was a little bit smaller. The world was less crazy, and things have just changed so much. In the last 500 or so days, it was such a fun feeling to sit down and have 50 minutes of Nintendo to look forward to. I mean, the hype alone was worth it. But now that the dust has settled and the Direct is in the bag, we gotta talk about our feelings. There's a lot to go into, and in today's video, I'm gonna be telling you the things I think Nintendo did so right, the things I think they did not so great, and the reason why the haters are so off base in being pissed off about this show. I mean, guys, 2021, there's a lot to love and a lot to look forward to, and I'm gonna fill you in on why you can breathe a sigh of relief. What's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hit that like button if you own a Nintendo Switch, which if you're watching this Direct, you probably do. And let me know in the comments down below the grade you would give the 2.17.21 Direct. That's today, February 17th. What do you rate it? I wanna know. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We got an awesome morning news, rumors, reports, impressions, and awesomeness show every day called Good Morning Mario. I'd love to see you guys check that out. And of course, we're gonna be covering a bunch of the games that were shown off today. But let's dive straight in because Nintendo, there was a lot of pressure. They haven't put out a show like this in 500 plus days. They haven't talked about their lineup in a really formal fashion in forever. I mean, they've done partner showcases and Twitter drops, but nothing like this. So the expectations were astronomical. And I want to let you know that Nintendo said this would be a showcase focusing on the first half of 2021. That's your first sigh of relief. For every Metroid that didn't pop, for every DK that didn't show, for every Pokemon that wasn't there, and every Breath of the Wild 2 that didn't quite make the cut. This is for the first half of 2021, and you gotta look at it through that lens. In terms of a February Direct, this ain't no June Direct, right? This is not the holiday lineup. It's a February Direct. And they brought some awesome stuff. I'm gonna start with my personal favorite, which is Splatoon 3. It's a weird one. Why talk about a game that's that far off? I have my ideas. I have why I think Nintendo did it. But this game looks to be a bigger, better, and bad Splatoon game. Like, they are going grungy, they are going gritty, and it looks like they've opened up the world with the Splatlands. That's what the place is called, where your character starts off. You design your buddy, you customize your character, and then you make it to a new city, a very vertical city. And it's got multiplayer, it's no spin-off, it's a true sequel. Somehow I called the logo. I don't know how I did that. I must have a squid kid living inside me. I feel like I always have. I kind of, I'm a kid at heart. It makes sense. I got that spark. But I think this is going to be phenomenal. It's just weird that it's 2022. It's weird that the game is releasing at least a year away, and it's weird they talked about it. But when you consider Nintendo, why talk about it? They like shorter cycles, right? They like to make sure that they have their games ready to go. This to me tells me one of two things. Either Nintendo has nothing between now and 2022, or Nintendo wants to save their heavy holiday hitters for future presentations. A Pokemon Direct, a Zelda 35th Direct, the E3 timeframe Direct. And don't get me started on people saying that's all we got for Zelda's anniversary. Guys and girls, that's not it. Aonuma came out and said Breath of the Wild 2 is not ready to show, which is curious. Is he meaning it's not ready to show like they're saving it for E3? Or does he mean it's not ready to show like it ain't coming until 2022? Now, I interpreted it to be the latter, like, hey, the game development's progressing, but I'm sorry, you don't get to play it this year. I've seen a lot of other people interpret it the other side of the coin, which is, hey, we're just not ready to talk about it, it still could show up. But the fact that Skyward Sword HD releases in July has me suspicious. There ain't no way Breath of the Wild 2 is dropping in September if Skyward Sword HD is coming in July. And Skyward Sword is a really underrated traditional Legend of Zelda game that I think a lot of people are gonna love. I'm wondering if they added anything to it besides revamping the controls, because sometimes they do add new stuff to these games, like they did with Twilight Princess HD, and they didn't show any of that. But I really believe the fact that it was so light on Zelda, no Breath of the Wild 2, some Age of Calamity DLC, which should be fun, and Skyward Sword HD without much detail means there is a Zelda 35th presentation in the future. Remember, we are still in the year of Mario's 35th. That doesn't wrap until they erase Mario on March 31st. And there's gotta be more for Zelda. Merch, more games, Nintendo Switch Online updates. I really, really believe this is not the last you heard from Aonuma and the Nintendo team in terms of their plans to celebrate Zelda's 35th. So, another sigh of relief. There's even rumors of a Nintendo Switch Online update coming in April, and they'd want to show that off, and maybe that's where N64 Game Boy games get added and we get even more Zelda goodies. Plus, insiders seem to think that there still is a collection of some sorts, more classic Zelda games coming to the platform in 2021. They also showed Mario Golf Super Rush, which I think looks phenomenal. And it's being undervalued because it's golf. And golf is typically boring. Golf is a sport that if you're really into it, you're really into it. And if you're not, oh my goodness gracious, let's hope it's not on TV on the weekend. But this is golf Mario style. This is golf Switch Mario style. Look at how fun they made Tennis Aces. And that's why I'm so excited for Super Rush. Speed golf looks insane. Power-ups, running around the course. This is no longer just a traditional golf game, which by the way looks improved, very professional. The UI was so clean. Camelot does phenomenal work. They're confirmed as the developer. They're bringing back their story mode, which we know they've killed with golf on the handheld side. Can't wait to see it on the home console. But the fact that they're bringing in party elements, power-ups, and making this fun, it's going to be a family-type title that will still apply to the hardcore, but give a lot of fun to people that aren't even big golf players. And that's what Tennis Aces did, and that's why Mario Sports are such a strong franchise, and they've been phenomenal on Nintendo Switch. I have no doubt that this will be the best multiplayer game of the summer. I think the new modes that they hinted at will be cool. The courses look really great graphically. The outfits, man! Come on, how are you going to give this anything lower than a B when they got outfits like that? Bowser looking fancy, Wario with the hat, Peach with the skirt. Everybody's so freaking stylish nowadays. I love it. Nintendo doing diligence on upgrading their characters and updating the models and including and infusing modern stuff to make this a true new sequel. We haven't seen Mario Golf on home consoles in 18 years. Holy cow, they've done handheld, but home consoles, I think they are ready to deliver an awesome game. And it's a summer title because this is a first half direct. Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Bravely Default 2, Monster Hunter Rise, new Pokemon Snap, Miitopia, Mario Golf. The first half of the year is loaded with Nintendo goodies. And the first half of the year is not the best half of the year. Almost always, without fail, the back half of the year is where they bring the big guns. And if you're gonna try to look me in the eye and tell me that Nintendo has nothing for September, October, November, or December, we're gonna have a staring contest. I'll probably blink first, but I know you're wrong. There's no way that Nintendo is gonna sit out the fall season. And I'm sure that they're saving their bigger announcements for E3 and the summer. Look, we expect Pokemon Diamond and Pearl to get remakes. Those will probably get revealed or at least teased next week for the Pokemon 25th anniversary, but that's not all. They're not gonna enter the holiday season with a remake. They will have more, and I'm super excited to see what it is. No More Heroes 3 is coming August. It feels like a lot of the dates were shifted back, and that probably is due to COVID. You have to remember that the last 12 months have seen serious effects and impact on all industries, video games included. And trying to maintain normalcy, trying to continuously pump out titles has probably been very difficult. They even said, hey, we're lucky we're doing this direct. Sorry it took us so long, but we're here. And I love that they're here. I love that they brought a lot of their charm and a lot of their spark our way. It wasn't every game we wanted, but there's still a whole second half of the year. If this was the 2021 lineup, I'd agree. Bummed out. Bum City, Mario Golf, Miitopia, and Splatoon 3 next year, like that is far off. And it made me sad. It hurt my heart. I was like, oh my gosh, Splatoon 3 in 2021 is gonna be sick. There's your multiplayer fix for the fall. Alas, it's coming 2022, and it makes me wonder and question what is happening with the Switch Pro. Everybody kind of believes that that is inevitable, that it's going to happen. And 2021 was earmarked as the year. If Splatoon 3 doesn't come till next year, if Breath of the Wild 2 doesn't come till next year, are they really ready for a Switch Pro, or does that also get shifted to next year, or maybe does it exist at all? I still believe in it, and I still think there's a chance that both Breath of the Wild 2 and the Switch Pro or Switch Plus or Switch XL do release this calendar year, but I'm more suspicious than ever. Now, there was a lot of third party as well. The big one for me was Fall Guys. I mean, the game is kind of dead on other platforms, but I think it's gonna get a boost on Switch, and it's just fun to see. Some people don't own another console. Some people don't have a gaming PC. And getting this very popular cultural phenomenon on the Switch to go along with Among Us and Hades and Fortnite, like it's a really good get. Now, a lot of the other announcements were kind of not exciting because we've heard leaks, like Tales from the Borderlands, oh, it's been leaked. Ninja Gaiden, that trilogy's been leaked for a long time. Detective Club was a nice pickup. It's a niche title, but a nice pickup. And then the new Project Triangle strategy is the wildest name ever, but it looks amazing. Octopath was a really underrated game that surprised, and this one looks like they're expanding on the game in the ways it needed to be improved. That franchise, they got the gorgeous art. They don't need to do anything with that. But the combat being more thorough and less repetitive, the story being more engaging and having more choice, it's not till 2022, but it looks really amazing. And there's a demo that you can play today. I will say this direct kind of stunk for shadow drops. It was a Project Triangle demo, and it was a Capcom arcade machine collection. The other issue with this direct is that a lot of the games that were focused were already announced. Smash Bros. Got Pyra, which I think she looked pretty darn cool. I'm not a big Xenoblade fan, but I thought she looked pretty cool. Yet she is another sword wielder, and we're still awaiting the characters that everybody seems to really want. But Sakurai does his own thing, and the game is probably better for it in the end. I do think that this character was not what people wanted. I'm sure some people are really excited. I'm surprised they didn't go with a bigger name, but we still have more characters, so let's wait and see. And hey, they kept it really brief. They didn't dump 20 minutes of Smash Bros. Ultimate into this presentation. But because we know about Smash, that has less impact. Because we know about Animal Crossing, the cool Mario inclusions, the warp pipes, and all of the gear has less impact. And on the AC front, I think they, by releasing this next week, by not even waiting until Mario Day, March 10th, and definitely not till the anniversary, I think they're setting themselves up for a late March spring revival update. I think once the game turns a year, they can do some nice things to really bring it back hardcore. And the fact that this update is coming so soon after Festival tells me that there's more in the future, and I'm excited about that. I know that we've seen Monster Hunter Rise, but that game continues to look like a star-studded title. And it really is a star-studded lineup. Like, you have to consider what we have in the first half. And almost all of these games were first half. No More Heroes 3 sits right outside it in August, and Skyward Sword HD right outside, crossing the line in July. But for a first half for Nintendo Switch, come on! This is one of the best first halves outside of the launch year where everything was loaded because the system just released. So if you take this for what they said it was, and for what it is, a lineup of Nintendo games for the first half of 2021, and you trust that Nintendo has heavy hitters for the back half, I don't think you can look at this and say it's terrible. It tried to really have a lot of different genres, appeal to a lot of demographics. I know there's a lot of games that why do they focus on? DC Superhero Girls, okay? Knockout City or Dodgeball, whatever EA's doing. Those games, they didn't show that well, but there are audiences for those titles. There are audiences for kids games, for free-to-play games, for big multiplayer games. And we have to appreciate and respect that the only way the Switch became as successful as it did was by appealing to so many people. And these directs are for all players, not just one kind of player. Me personally would have rather slotted those out and stuck in Metroid Prime trilogy or a new Donkey Kong game. But I think those things are still coming. It just becomes how long we gotta wait. And I understand your feelings. You waited 500 days and your favorite franchise was completely glossed over. That stinks. And Breath of the Wild 2, something that everybody was so hyped for, it didn't make it. I get that that is a bummer. And like I said, if this was the E3 showcase, if this was summer, I would say, Nintendo, you didn't quite make the cut. But this being a cobbled together February Direct, being their first resurgence after a global pandemic, being a focused presentation on the first half of 2021 with the promise and almost assurance of more titles for the second half of the year, I mean, they delivered us new Joy-Con. We got a new Pro Controller. Accessories are back. First-party titles are coming through strong. There's a lot of remakes and a lot of ports, but that's always been the case with Nintendo Switch. And they continue to acquire franchises that there are fan bases for. Ninja Gaiden, Borderlands, Miitopia. I think a lot of people probably assumed that was a new game, but it's actually a 3DS title from back in 2017. But it's a pretty cool game, and I'm willing to give it another look on Switch. I think it'll be fun. The Mii customization, fantastic. I think it's funny that Mii's were back in Mario Golf and Miitopia. Character customization and outfits were all over the place. And motion controls, like there's no way I'm playing Skyward Sword with 2 Joy-Con. It's just not happening. In Mario Golf, like cute of you, but this is not 2007. So motion controls, I'm not sure why they were such a focus today. It was kind of funny. But I think it's Nintendo's pitch to make this for everyone. You don't get to 80 million units without appealing to everybody. And when your console doesn't have the power, the technical prowess to attract every third party, you gotta spread the wealth. And I still think for a Direct that featured a brand new unexpected Splatoon sequel announcement that looks amazing, A Mario Golf that looks elevated and hits home consoles with single player and multiplayer, and it's gonna have online. I see people asking, guys, it's gonna have online. For the first time in 18 years, that's hitting home consoles. That's great. You have a great lineup coming your way that we already knew about, reinforced by new trailers for Bravely Default 2, Monster Hunter Rise, Age of Calamity gets DLC for you Musou fans. A lot of third-party franchises are making their way to the platform. Fall Guys and Detective Club are great gets. And there's promise of more. Zelda is not done. Pokemon hasn't even shown their hand. And whatever Nintendo has planned for the second half of the year, I firmly believe that they're saving it for their Summer Direct. And I think they'll be back in June or July with another presentation, and that's the one where we can really, really grade them harshly. Because if they don't have anything for the fall, all right. But for those of you who are saying this sucked, this stinks, Nintendo 2021, it's a garbage year, I think it's gonna be a great year. I think that this being the first half lineup, it's gonna be a great year. If I told you the first half, guys and girls, has a new Mario expansion plus Mario 3D World, it's got Bravely Default 2, it's got No More Heroes 3, an exclusive Monster Hunter, a brand new Pokemon Snap, some ports like Miitopia, Skyward Sword gets its HD remake, Mario Golf comes in hot, are you telling me you'd say that this year was gonna suck? If you knew that was January through July, you still got the rest of the year. You still got the big tentpole titles, you still got time. We just need more patience. So I get the frustration, but guys, I'm feeling great. I think this was a super solid Direct. There's a few things missing and the focus on 2022 was a bit odd, but it's hard to say this was anything less than an 8 out of 10 for me. I really liked it. We're talking a B+, low A-, probably a B+. Let's not get too crazy, Zach. I'm feeling my Nintendo nostalgia. I'm feeling the juice, and I'm personally just so excited for both Mario Golf, Super Rush, and Skyward Sword, the two big Nintendo games coming soon. I didn't finish Skyward Sword, so that will be great for me. I like that they're putting it on the sticks, and I think Super Rush Mario Golf looks amazing. Splatoon 3, that's gonna be awesome. It's so far away, but when will the Switch Pro release? And what's going on with Breath of the Wild 2? I wanna know your take in the comments down below, what you liked, what you didn't like, and what you think, what you rate this Direct. I'm personally feeling great about 2021, and I hope this video gave you a few sighs of relief so that you can get excited too, because I still strongly believe and predict that 2021 will be a phenomenal year for Nintendo Switch and for us fans. I'll see you guys soon. We got a lot of games to talk about, more to discuss and more to digest, but that's my review. What do you think? Thanks so much for watching. Hit that like button if you enjoyed today's video. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart out there. Anybody who's lost power, I hope that it returns soon. Any damage that was caused, any difficulty or hardship you endured, I'm so sorry. I'm sending you positivity and love. I want to make sure that we mention you. You're not forgotten. This was an exciting day, but I know there's a lot of people struggling out there, and hopefully this was a pick-me-up, and hopefully things return to normal for you as soon as possible. Until next time, everybody, thanks again. SwitchForce, out.